What if there were tools that could actually help you streamline your process? What if it took a 2-hour process and turned it into 20 minutes? Is that something that would help your business or your insurance agency? Well, in today's video, that's exactly what I'm showing you as we go through more of these AI tools that we're using inside of our agency and what you can be using as well. So today we're particularly focused on 5 types of content creation tools. We're going to be looking at things like HeyGen, the AI avatar app that has been around for really a couple years now. We're going to be looking at Gamma app that can help with presentations. We're going to be taking a look at Opus Clips, Grammarly, and of course, Canva. All these things can play a vital role in the content creation process. Look, creating content just like this video right here can take time. Editing, moving things, all these different things. Then we have to understand, hey, what am I getting back? What am I not? How do I kind of speed up this process? So as I'll walk you through this section as we look at content creation, as we go through all these different AI tools, and this week particularly, as we look at content creation, I want you to go through and take a look at those. So let's go ahead and let's jump over to the computer and get started. All right, and looking at different content creation tools, we use a lot of different things inside of our insurance agency. We use a lot of different things inside of our marketing agency. And anybody who knows me knows that I'm a big believer in using AI to support your people, not replace your people. I'm also very transparent about how I use AI, when I use AI. It's why we've had so much success with our phone system care, I think. It's because we still give people the option to speak to people. Look, I've lost my vision 4 times, and AI has been a huge help in helping me navigate. As I shoot this video, I'm basically shooting this video with having vision of one eye. But I'm still able to do it by using things like L Notebook over here on the side that you can't see. That's assisting me with text that's very large. But in looking at these content creation tools, one of the tools we're looking at is something I've been a beta tester on now for probably about 2 years. That's HeyGen, HeyGen. You can see it in the top of the corner here. That's HeyGen.com. Go in, check it out. I'll leave a link in the comments for HeyGen as well. As I said, we've been using them for about a year or 2 years. Now, what HeyGen truly is where you are duplicating a video of yourself. You're cloning yourself, where you can do these different videos. Is it perfect? No. But it's got about the 80-20 rule. So a lot of times, I'm not using these AI videos for all my videos. I'm using them for maybe smaller areas. Maybe I'm trying to get a pricing video out for just a small area. Maybe I just don't have time for it. Or my team needs to have a video built where I answer certain questions on flood insurance, and they can put it into HubSpot, and they can put this into the sales process. You see, so HeyGen can play a vital role in your sales enablement tools, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So on the left-hand side here, you see home, you'll see different products and all that stuff, and you can even go to avatars, and I'm going to show you my different avatars here. It's just, as you can see, I've got several different avatars here. We could go to projects. I'm still waiting for one of my projects, but let's just watch this video real quick here together.
Join me as I dive into the world of flood insurance to see if I can find ways to save you money on your policy. As a homeowner, especially if you live in a flood-prone area, you know how crucial flood insurance is. It can be a lifesaver, protecting your home and financial well-being from the devastating effects of flooding. But are you getting the best deal on your policy?
So as you can see there, like I said, it's not perfect. In fact, you can play with the different avatars. You can use all kinds of avatars here. In fact, a lot of times what I will do is ask a question, have an avatar answer the question, go back and forth with it, and create a B-roll video off of something like that. I will use these videos in a different library. And I'm typically telling people, hey, this isn't Chris. This is Chris's AI agent or Chris's AI clone or whatever it is. I want to be transparent with people. And I feel like people will trust it much more then, not thinking we're trying to fool them. But HeyGen has come a long way in the last 2 years. And look, typically when you get each one of these uploaded, I think they charge you about $25 or $30 per avatar for your individual avatars. I typically keep about 3 or 4 different avatars that I'm using for different things. In fact, right now, I'm using my avatar to create a bunch of videos for the state of Connecticut. I was in Connecticut about a month and a half ago, and I shot some content there. And I'm taking a video from when I shot content there, and I'm creating more content off of that to answer people's questions. So this is how I am using HeyGen. Now, HeyGen is more than video, though. As I said, you could go right here to voice agents, for example. You can play with the different voices here. You could go to 11 Labs and upload your own voice to make sure that your voice sounds the way you want it to sound, and all these different things. So these are just some cool different things that you could do with HeyGen. Now, here's something important to understand too. With HeyGen now, they have a special partnership with Vidyard. So if you're using Vidyard, then you may automatically get access to a lot of things that HeyGen is doing without even paying more for it, like their avatar tool. We belong to Vidyard. We use Vidyard throughout HubSpot. We use Vidyard throughout our sales process. And so now we can actually go to Vidyard and create some of these. Now, are they as good yet? I don't think so. I'm still testing them to let you know. But this is just one tool I wanted to show you. HeyGen, that can play a vital role in your content creation, internally for sales enablement tools, but also for maybe your YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever. You could be using a lot of different ways if you just don't have time. Personally, I like to use them for smaller things. You don't have to go off what I'm doing. You can test it with what you're doing. Test it in your marketplace. See what kind of pushback you get from people. I actually did a long form video like this, testing in Houston, and actually got more engagement on my AI video than I did my regular video. My feelings were a little hurt there. So this is the HeyGen tool. I'm going to jump over to the next tool that we're going to take a look at now. All right, now we're taking a look at a different tool that can be used in your content creation process if you're an insurance agency and if you're a business owner. I want you to imagine this. Imagine you've got all this text. You're trying to find out the best way to take this text and kind of visualize it to help people understand something you're trying to explain. Maybe it's a risk. Maybe it's a $5 million home or something like that. This is where Gamma can help you. Look, we've been using Gamma now for more than a year. We use it for proposals. We use it for some presentations and some different things. First of all, let's go up here and look at pricing, because you know how transparent I am about looking at pricing. And they have a few different plans here. Now, typically what we've been on this $18 per month plan, historically, actually $8 per month plan, because we just weren't using it that much as an individual. As a team, you can do 20, 40, but you can see the different pricing plans here and what you get and all this different stuff. But let's go in here and log in real quick. All right, so in Gamma, I could do a few different things in Gamma. Let's just say I want to go in and create new. I could go in and take something out of ChatGPT. I could take some kind of document. I can upload it here. I can import a file or a URL. In fact, let's just go to a URL, and we're going to put our website just to see what happens. And it's probably going to take a while because I have a ton of content on this website. I'm talking probably 10,000 pieces of content. So actually, it's pulled it in there. And what do we want to do? We want to create a presentation with it. So as you can see now, as we go in and we have the whole website basically done, you can choose your different themes here. You can have it generate. You can do them on your own. Now, personally, what I do is I have them generate. Now, what I'm also doing here, though, is let's go to generate here. It looks like it may require me to do the paid version there on that. So let's go back here. Probably because the file was too big. But, we won't go too deep into that there. But what you could do is just that you can see all these different presentations that I've actually already created. So let's just go into some of the ones I've created here to kind of give you an example. So this is what I actually did on Connecticut Flood Insurance Buyer's Guide. And so you see right here, we could basically take this now and turn this into an ebook that now you don't need. And look, we have things built city by city and all these different things. So we could take this and we could basically turn this almost into a URL for our website. We could turn it into an ebook. We could do a lot of different really cool things with it. We would add probably a call to action at the bottom here. So this is just one example. And basically what I did is I took our Connecticut content through Claude and I actually imported it in here. And this is how I put all this stuff in here. And I came up with these rates because I actually went into our CRM and looked at these different rates and pulled them in this way. So that's where I'm getting these different numbers from. So this is exactly how you could use something like Gamma. Now let me go back and see if I can show you on a proposal. Now here's a flood risk assessment report I actually did for somebody. This is another example of how we're using it. So you can see how we pull this different hazard hub information. Even though you can see that a lot of them AI videos, you can see the full risk analysis that I'm able to send somebody. Does it need to be cleaned up? Yes. But remember, when it comes to AI, I have kind of an 80-20 rule, and that is that it's not going to do all of it for me. It's going to be about 80% there, then the human can come in, kind of adjust it, tweak it, do some different things here. And so this is what a quick, simple flood risk assessment could look like based on an address and everything. So once again, this is another example. Here's an SEO audit report I built for our marketing agency. If you're a commercial producer, you could build some kind of audit report on risk and send this over. And what I did is I built this kind of for a brand and I sent this over. This was a keyword, some keyword research we did and things, and just threw it in here. And look, Gamma can actually produce these things in a matter of minutes. So this is Gamma AI or a Gamma app. As I said, we've been using this thing for about a year now, and I'm really impressed with it. How good it's gotten. It could probably be compared to something maybe like Lovable, Bolt, even. They can come and design some of these things. But I've not really felt anything that kind of compares the way Gamma can do pricing and everything else. So this is the Gamma. All right, now this is Canva we're looking at. Look, if you haven't discovered Canva, I'm not real sure where you've been at, but it's almost like a Photoshop. It's one of the easiest things out there when it comes to designs. We do a lot of our thumbnails in here. We do a lot of our featured images for clients we're working with. As you can see, a lot of different featured images and things like this. We've got different templates over here on the left and projects and all kinds of things. We can build out different templates for brands that we're working with. I mean, it's really good. You can even see different CTAs we're playing with. And even down here on the left-hand side, you can also get into the Canva AI and what you want to design today. So let's take a look at this real quick. Now, look, I probably didn't give this as good of a prompt as I should have. Now that you've seen this, let me do this real quick. All right, I'm working on getting this right prompt back. All right, now you saw kind of what we got here, right? Now let's put this in here, this new prompt, and let's just see what the difference is here. Now let's see if it pulls it up here. But remember how long it would used to take to generate these different thumbnails. So right now, as you see, it's kind of starting to change these and update these. Look, remember my rule, 80-20. Is it perfect? No. Probably enough for a human could come in and tweak these. I'm actually not as big a fan of these as I am these up here. I actually like these better. Or even this one right here. So this is just one example of how you can use the Canva AI, though. As I said, then you could go into brand and look at brand kits. Like I said, we've got one for the Flood Insurance Guru where you can see all that stuff. We have got one for Niche Your Business where you can see all that different stuff. And so it just makes things really easy here. Any brand that we're working with, we're putting this in here. But as I said, if you're not using Canva, definitely jump on it. I think this one's like $35 a month. I've had stuff on here for years now. And so I am a huge fan of it. Let's go back to home now. Let's go back to projects. The different projects, you can see it where my team's been working on all these different things for people and for us as we update different things and we go through and look at all this. So I just wanted to show you exactly what you can do with Canva. All right, now we're looking at Opus Clips. I think I've done some other videos on Opus Clips. I'm a big fan of Opus Clips. Opus can take long form and turn it into short form. Look, I'm actually a bigger fan of just shooting short form on its own. But the key, I feel like, to have success with something like Opus Clips is not taking your edited long form videos and putting them in an Opus. Instead, it's putting your raw footage and then adjusting these things, having these things and then going in somewhere else and pulling the B-roll and putting it in here. What we've discovered, and I will show you if I can find some, is that when I had a video already edited, actually I think this one right here, perfect. I just want you to be able to see real quick kind of what things look like. So let's see.
Fairfield, Connecticut. What can you expect to pay for flood?
You see how it has the word Fairfield and I can't
Fairfield, Connecticut. What can you expect?
I can't see the whole city there. That's just an example of what I'm talking about, of the challenges of using something like this after you've edited it. Now let me go back and look at one of these other videos. Now this is the original Connecticut video. Now let's look at this.
Fairfield, Connecticut. What can you expect to pay for flood insurance? Well, we see after helping hundreds of people here in Connecticut and the Fairfield area that on average,
you kind of see the difference there. So this is where you want to be careful with Opus Clips when just uploading long form has been edited. What I recommend, taking your long form raw footage, putting it in here. I mean, I could take this Connecticut video. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, look, I got 13 shorts out of this thing. Now here's the key though. I could take each one of these shorts. Now most of them are probably, 15 or 20 seconds. There's some that's a minute. And I can take each one of these and I can now build snippets. And I can use these in my sales process inside of HubSpot, where when a customer asks a question, I can just hit hashtag Connecticut flood insurance rates. and it could include one of these videos, answering these questions real quick for somebody. Then I could take that, I could put it into a blog with video the blog.ai, or just put it in the blog on my website. Potentially, I could put it on one of my web pages. So there's a lot of different purposes of how you could use Opus Clips. But to me, remember, this is the 80-20 rule again. Opus Clips just get you started. It doesn't do everything for you. It doesn't add all that B-roll and all this. But what it could do is make things easier for my team when it's breaking all these things up, and then we can kind of put the moving parts back into place the way we need them with B-roll and everything else. So this is exactly how we use Opus Clips inside the Flood Insurance Guru, Niche Your Business. That's how we work with a lot of our marketing clients. I'm putting up their long form in here where we're breaking it up, where we can answer different questions for them through their sales process, helping their sales teams, their service teams, the renewal teams, helping the claims process, all that stuff. So this is Opus Clips. I think Opus Clips may be only a couple $100 a year. It's very inexpensive. Remember, it's not a perfect tool. But I also want to show you one of the more powerful things. Look, you have to pay a little bit more for this, and it's only available on desktop. Now let's go to the asset library. So here you could go in here and create a different brand if you wanted to. As I said, we have some different things here. We could go over here to, we could actually do a drop down. And we could switch to a different template here if we wanted to. If we wanted to create another template, we could. See, it keeps wanting to charge me that. And it might be, let's see. See, now this is, I'm not logged in. I'm logged into a different account, but I just want to show you pricing on here, what you could be looking at when you add these different brand style guides. Now, you could pay monthly. I actually pay yearly. And I mean, it comes out fairly cheap, $175 for the year. It gives me 3,600 credits and all this different stuff. So that's just one way you could do that there. So this is Opus Clips and some different ways that we use Opus Clips. All right, now I'm actually showing you one of my favorite tools in the content creation process, and that is Grammarly. But Grammarly, if you haven't heard of it, just like it sounds, it helps you with different grammar. But what's awesome is the Chrome extension they have here. So when I go into HubSpot or whatever, Word, Grammarly, because the way it's extended on my computer, it could actually help me automatically edit any kind of words, punctuation, all these different things. So I literally use it almost like a Hemingway. I literally use it for everything all day long. So let's just look at one of these documents here. So this is actually a case study that one of my team members was working on for someone. And so let's just, for example, here it would show me, let's see. See, this is an example of what Grammarly would do. See right here, over here, they'll tell you, hey, you want to accept that? Boom, just like fixes like that. And all these different things. So that's one of the huge benefits of Grammarly. So when using Grammarly, as I said, make sure the key is the Google Chrome extension. And I even think it may work on Perplexity, but they're literally using it inside your CRM, using it in everything. Grammarly should kind of work side by side with everything you're doing, every email. Imagine a VA that's got this who maybe is not that great at writing, or you have a team member that writing is not their best part. This is where Grammarly can help them. Now, this is once again an AI tool that can help support your people, not replace your people. So I highly, highly recommend using Grammarly through your content creation process. Even helping you, even help you adjust your writing style if you need it to. So we use it for a lot of different things. We use it for emails. We use it for blogs, all kinds of stuff.
So this is Grammarly AI and exactly how we're using it inside of our companies.
So hopefully these different tools have helped you understand how you can use them in your content creation process. Look, if you need help with your marketing, if you need help figuring out, where things go in a certain place, look, in the description of this video, you can click below, reach out to me over at Niche Your Business. It's easy. Just shoot me an email, chris@buildinganiche.com, or just go to our website, buildinganiche.com. Remember, don't forget to share, subscribe, and like the channel so you can always get these important updates as we post these different videos every week. Thank you.